Hello, welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm TheMonk, and today we're going to be doing a review for Bike Hundreds of Melodies. And I do apologise if I pronounce the name of the game wrong. I do my best. Hundreds of Melodies is an anime story with choices. While visiting his sick father, a college student accidentally encounters a girl playing music. Though unlikely, they become friends until one day someone tells the boy about a cruel hidden truth. Now, this game has been published and developed by Magenta Factory, who actually sent me a copy of this game, so thank you very much for doing so. It is on the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the PC, and will set you back $9.99. So for £10, what do you actually get? Now, as I've already mentioned, this is a story-driven game. There are choices throughout the game when they pop up, and those choices have consequences for how the game ends. The story itself, for me, was actually a little bit boring. It was incredibly slow to actually start before we actually got a few more characters in, and it just wasn't very well written. Some lines were read. There was voice acting in. Obviously, this wasn't in English, however, there was no customization for that, but it was translated. However, not every single line was read. There were only about 5 choices that I had throughout a single playthrough, however. Now, I personally don't normally lean towards these sort of games. However, I have played a few. I have played a couple of outstanding versions of this game, and I've also played some disappointments. What I look for in these type of games is choices, a lot of choices. I like to have choices. I like to have my story change based on the choices that I make, and I like to have a lot of choices. However, within this, like I said, I only had maybe 5 throughout an entire playthrough. Of course, I could go back and I could choose different options, and that would lead to different story endings. However, it did seem that the choices themselves stayed exactly the same. It was just your choice of a different option which led to the different ending. Now, they do actually brag about there being multiple endings. However, the endings aren't really too diverse. And as I said, the choices that you actually get throughout the game do actually seem to stay the same. It's you picking a different choice which gives you the different ending, rather than that choice leading to further choices. Now, I've only played through the game 3 times, and I hear you say, well, you've played through the games 3 times. So I can't say definitively that there aren't more choices throughout the game. It's just in the 3 times I played the game, I made sure that I picked different choices every single time. It was the same choices that kept popping up, so that's my experience from it anyway. They also brag that there are between 8 and 12 hours of storyline within this game, or dialogue for you to read. Now, if you was to read every single line and play this game multiple times, possibly achieving every single ending you can possibly get, then I can see there being the 12 hours of storyline. However, for me, that just wasn't the case. It didn't take too long to complete a storyline, and it certainly was never going to take 12 hours to complete. I don't know how slow someone's reading, but it's not going to take you 12 hours at all. They also boast to have 20 different types of background music while you're playing this game, and while that may be true, it's not exactly memorable. In fact, I don't remember any track that I heard, and like I said, I actually played through this game 3 times. The music for me was very bland and just very repetitive, but I guess it done its job as being in the background, as I don't particularly remember it. Another thing that kind of gripes me while I was playing this game is that it's actually marked up at £9.99. Now, it's currently on sale at a slightly cheaper price of £7.99. However, it's supposed to be a £10 game. I feel that this game is incredibly overpriced. Now, I played a game last year very much like this that was probably the best game of this kind I have ever played, and it was marked up at £1. Now, for me, that game is your bar. That's your bar, and this falls short, unfortunately. And that game, for anyone curious, was Swordbreaker. I'll actually try and put a link to this review that I've done in the comments, so you guys can check it out. But I kind of compare all games like this of this genre to that game because it honestly, for me, it was just outstanding. Also, about hundreds of melodies, I have to question the Steam reviews. Now, I don't normally check out reviews for games that I'm personally reviewing. I like to form my own thoughts. However, I do like to have the information. I like to grab the information of a game. And something I noticed on Steam is that this game has been receiving 10 out of 10s. Now, I do not know what these other reviewers are smoking, but this is definitely not a 10 out of 10 game. I will give you my score in a minute, but it is definitely most not a 10 out of 10 game. It's unfortunately very, very slow, very boring. It's very uninteractive as well, which I was really disappointed about. And honestly, the artwork isn't necessarily great either. I've seen better artwork in these games before as well. However, it does have a redeeming feature, and that is the achievement points. So me on Xbox, I managed to achieve 1,000 achievement points in almost no time at all. Because these games seem to have a skip dialogue feature, they all seem to have the skip dialogue feature, and in so doing so, you can skip the entire game, and of course, you manage to get yourself some really good achievement points. So if you're looking for cheap achievement points, well, £10 not exactly a cheap way of doing it, but there are 1,000 achievement points up for grabs, and that is unfortunately the best thing I can say about this game. Now, yes, it absolutely did work, and of course it was easy to use as well. No problems there. But apart from that, guys, this game was completely flat and offered me very, very little. And that is why I'm going to give this game a 2.5 out of 10. I believe it is officially the lowest ranking game of the year for me on the channel. But if you have enjoyed this review or found it entertaining, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, comment your thoughts down below. But until next time, guys, I've been a monk, we've been the Critically Clueless, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Take it easy. And if you have made it to the very end of this video, what a big well done to you, because this game is just not one that I would have stuck around for. But if you have, then drop red banana down below just to confuse all those that didn't. Thank you very much, guys, and I will see you in the next video real soon.